October 8, 2025, 3:42 p.m. local time, South China Sea. Two Chinese Type 052D destroyers slice through the deep blue, bows cutting the swells clean in half as they surge ahead at nearly 27 knots. Their course isn't random, it's deliberate, aimed straight toward a US Navy warship, the USS John Finn, DDG-113, conducting a routine freedom of navigation transit through international waters. From the bridge of the John Finn, the sea looks calm, too calm. Radar returns show two large surface contacts closing from the northwest. Range 24 nautical miles. Speed increasing, bearings converging. Before we continue, a quick note. This video is sponsored by World of Warships, the free-to-play naval combat game on PC that's just launched a massive update, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the US Navy. Right now, players can build their own Liberty Harbor, an interactive naval base where you can unlock historic ships, missions and rewards inspired by real US Navy milestones. Join today using my link below and the code STEPUP250 to instantly receive the American Tier 3 cruiser St. Louis, 20 days of premium time, and a bundle of in-game rewards worth millions of credits. Whether you command a destroyer, cruiser or carrier, World of Warships offers unmatched realism with over 40 maps, dynamic weather, and incredibly detailed vessels. If you love authentic naval action, click the link in the description, join the fleet, and start building your Liberty Harbor today. Now, back to the South China Sea. Within seconds, the John Finn's Combat Information Center confirms what the bridge already suspects. These aren't fishing boats, and they're not escorts. They're Chinese naval destroyers, and they're moving with purpose. At this speed, the gap collapses fast. Every minute closes nearly half a mile. Cameras zoom in. Hull numbers 172 and 175. Both are Liu Yang III class guided missile destroyers, each carrying 64 vertical launch cells and long-range anti-ship missiles. On most days, that's just hardware, but today, it's intent that matters. The John Finn maintains course, steady, deliberate. Her mission is simple: transit lawfully, record everything, react to nothing. But when two warships approach on an intercept vector without a single radio hail, routine stops being routine. Bridge to CIC, the comms crackle. Two planned contacts bearing 301 and 328. CPA under 5 nautical miles, no response to initial hails. Down in CIC, sailors switch from monitoring to full observation mode. Optical sensors online. The SLQ-32 electronic warfare suite begins passively recording every radar pulse coming from the Chinese ships. From the captain, maintain posture, no course deviation. Let them show intent. Above deck, the ocean feels tighter. The crew senses the approach before they see it. The Chinese destroyers aren't shadowing. They're intercepting. Bow on, engines roaring, wakes boiling white. No signals, no explanations. In less than 10 minutes, 3 warships, armed, alert, and watching each other's every move, will share the same patch of sea. And only one of them is talking. 3:51 p.m., range 12 nautical miles. Aboard the John Finn, tension doesn't show, but it's everywhere. The officer of the deck calls out bearings as the Chinese destroyers close in. Their wakes stretch long behind them. Every adjustment deliberate, every motion calibrated. It's a slow, steady push across the invisible line between observation and confrontation. Bridge hails again, this time bilingual. Chinese naval vessels. This is a United States warship conducting lawful transit in international waters. Alter course immediately to avoid unsafe approach. Then again in Mandarin, calm, measured. Silence follows. No response. No light signals. No AIS transmissions. The CIC logs every second. Screens glow with radar sweeps and infrared feeds. Contacts tagged Track Sierra 09 and Sierra 12. Speed steady at 26 knots. CPA projected under 3 nautical miles. The bridge crew doesn't panic. They've been here before. But this feels different. Both destroyers are holding parallel vectors, not crossing, not trailing, just pressing forward, head on. Contact behavior intentional, the Surface Watch officer reports. Maintain ROE Phase 1, passive observation only, the captain replies. That's Navy code for stay cool, keep documenting. High-resolution cameras pivot. Zoom lenses catch crews on deck, helmets on, small arms visible but slung. Standard show of force posture. In CIC, the SLQ-32 picks up faint radar emissions. Type 364 surface search, sweeping multiple frequencies. They're scanning, reports the electronic warfare officer. No fire control tone detected. The captain nods. Log it. To port, the second destroyer adjusts course, just 3 degrees. Small change, big message. CPA now 7 nautical miles. That's inside comfort range, the OOD notes. Every system aboard John Finn, cameras, radar, microphones, is recording. Because in the South China Sea, facts are the first weapon. The captain leans forward. They want us to flinch, he says quietly. Then louder, calm but final. Maintain course. No deviation. 3:57 p.m. The sea between them has become a chessboard. Every knot, every bearing change, every radar ping, a move in a silent game. The captain authorizes visible posture elevation, not aggression, just presence. The 5-inch Mark 45 gun rotates 5 degrees starboard. Slow, deliberate, not locked, not loaded, but perfectly visible from the Chinese bridge. That alone is a message. Topside, sailors move to assigned watch stations. 50 cal mounts manned, safety's on. The CIWS hums as it runs diagnostics. None of it provocative. All of it recorded. Down below, the EW team reports continued radar illumination from both contacts. Range now 1 nautical miles. Frequency stable. Each pulse adds data. What they're using, how often, and how close they're pushing. From the bridge, set Seahawk condition 1. Maintain readiness. No launch without authorization. On the flight deck, the MH-60R Seahawk crew snaps into prep. Rotors unfold. Power checks complete. The helicopter's role is clear. The Navy's all-seeing eye. The Seahawk lifts, holding 800 feet. Its MX-20 FLIR turret locks on both destroyers. Every radar mast, every heat plume, every movement on deck recorded in perfect infrared. The feed beams straight to CIC. Visual confirmation, the sensor operator reports. Hull numbers 172 and 175, crew visible, weapons unmanned, radars active. From above, the formation looks surgical. 2 Chinese destroyers side by side, their wakes mirror perfect. Between them, the USS John Finn, steady, silent, unyielding. Then comes the signal. The Seahawk's green laser designator flashes twice, a non-lethal cue across the lead destroyer's bridge windows. Subtle, unmistakable, we see you. Seconds later, the infrared spotlight sweeps across the second ship. Its beam reflects off grey steel, tracing the plan emblem on the bow. On deck, Chinese sailors shift. Helmets glint. A few step beside their main gun, binoculars raised. Weapons remain unmanned, but body language speaks loud. In CIC, the tactical watch officer calls it out. Seahawk maintaining 7 nautical mile offset. All actions within ROE. No jamming, no threats, just discipline. Because in naval language, visibility is deterrence, and nothing speaks louder than a helicopter watching in silence. 4:06 p.m. The Seahawk holds orbit at 600 feet. Down below, the Chinese destroyers tighten formation, barely a cable apart. Then a change. Bridge to CIC. Chinese radar just switched to active surface tracking, reports EW. No fire control tone yet, but they're painting us. The captain nods slowly. Copy. Maintain passive mode. Let them see what professionalism looks like. 2 destroyers, 2 doctrines, one showing muscle, the other showing control. Then, a burst of Mandarin over VHF channel 16. You are entering waters under Chinese jurisdiction. Adjust your heading immediately. CIC logs it. Timestamped. Archived. Seconds later, the John Finn replies, Chinese naval vessel. This is United States warship conducting legal operations in international waters as permitted under international law. Your actions are unsafe. Recommend you alter course immediately. No shouting, no threat, just professionalism under pressure. From above, the reaction is visible. A pause. A sailor waves a signal flag, then lowers it. The lead destroyer throttles down, wake shortening, speed dropping from 26 knots to 22. Contact speed decreasing, the Seahawk pilot reports. CPA widening, now 2 nautical miles. The tension doesn't vanish, it exhales. Both sides still track each other, but geometry shifts. The intercept angle eases, the collision course turns parallel. In CIC, a sailor murmurs, "They're backing off." The captain doesn't celebrate. He watches the radar and says quietly, "No one wins a standoff. You just decide when it ends." 4:12 p.m. Engines hum steady again. The Chinese ships widen to a 4 nautical mile buffer. A classic face-saving maneuver. Not retreat, just acknowledgement. The Seahawk keeps orbiting, lenses trained on the scene. "Maintain visual log until further course changes," comes the captain's voice. Below, the John Finn returns to calm precision. Cameras rolling, sensors listening, sailors steady. 4:15 p.m., the Chinese ships turn north, slipping back toward home waters. Their radar emissions fade to navigation only. Contacts diverging. CPA 6, 3 nautical miles, CIC reports. No flares, no warnings, no drama, just two navies stepping back from the edge. On the bridge wing, the captain watches their silhouettes fade. Presence was the weapon, he murmurs. Patience was the armor. The Seahawk banks one final turn, then heads home. In the end, nothing exploded. No shots fired. Just restraint, the kind that speaks louder than any gun. Because at sea, dominance isn't always about firepower, it's about control. This encounter didn't happen in isolation. It's part of a rising pattern in the South China Sea, a region now crowded with steel, sovereignty, and strategy. In recent months, China's People's Liberation Army Navy has sharply increased its tempo. More patrols through disputed zones, more shadowing of foreign ships, more close approaches, deliberate, rapid, camera-ready. In late September 2025, satellites tracked at least 6 planned warships conducting formation drills near the Paracel Islands, just 200 miles from where the USS John Finn sailed this week. 2 new Type ZO-39C submarines were also detected, China's largest undersea deployment in nearly a decade. For Washington, this is a test of resolve. The US Navy's freedom of navigation missions aren't about confrontation, they're about consistency. If the Navy yields every time Beijing signals displeasure, precedent shifts. So each time an American ship like the John Finn sails straight and steady, it's not just navigation, it's policy in motion. Because out here, every line drawn on radar is more than a route. It's a statement. This wasn't a drill, it was a message. And in these waters, messages travel at about 28 knots. So here's today's question. Should the US Navy start pushing back harder against these Chinese intercepts, or keep proving that calm wins the day? Drop your thoughts below. We read everyone. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next real-world encounter at sea. And if you want to go a step further and support the channel directly, join the fleet. You'll get loyalty badges, priority responses, and help us bring more true maritime stories to the surface. Click join on our channel page and get on board. Because out here, even patience moves fast. See you in the next one.